We are getting ready to go live on YouTube. And today we're going to talk about some property tax. As soon as we click all this stuff. And here we go. Hey, everybody, live on YouTube. Welcome. Hope you guys all had a great day. We're going to talk about some stuff today. So today our main topic is going to be about the property tax, but we got a few things to talk about before we get to the property tax situation. So let's just get rolling. Wait a minute. I got to give myself a thumbs up because I'm absolutely positive I'm going to like the program today. There we go. So I want to thank all you guys that have been watching my videos and sharing my videos and subscribing to my channel. Thanks to you guys, we are looking really good. And I'm going to do a screen share and show you just how good we're looking. So, well, this is the first thing I wanted to put up, and I'm going to probably put this up every time I do a video or a live stream. This is the case law that I use when these people get in my face and try to tell me that I'm engaged in the unauthorized practice of law without a license. This case law right here, Swear versus Board of Examiners. Swear versus Board of Examiners is from the Supreme Court, and it says that the practice of law cannot be licensed by any state in lowercase and state in higher case. So that means attorneys don't have no license. So when the court's holding you to the standard of a licensed attorney, they're actually holding you to a higher standard than they're holding the attorney, because attorneys don't have a license. And this is important. And for all of you guys that want to help other people, this is the shit right here. You need to have this posted in your site, in your file, so you can pull it up anytime you need to use it. Copy and paste it and stick it in their face. And as you can see, the certificate from the Supreme Court is only authorized to practice law in courts as a member of the judicial branch of government. And and you guys can read the rest there. I'm going to leave this case law in the comment section down below at the end of the video, or actually when I upload the video. And that way you guys will be able to use it. Now, what I wanted to show you guys first was this. This is my channel monetization. It shows how well we're doing. As you guys can see here, I'm at 965 and I need 1,000. So I'm just a few away from hitting. I have to hit both of these marks to be able to monetize my channel. And I think I get a chat window when I get 1,000 people, but I'm not sure. But I do know that once I get 1,000 people and 4,000 hours of watch time, then I'll be able to, and I have to do this within a year, then I'll be able to monetize my channel and host ads on my YouTube channel. And the income generated from those ads are going to help me, will actually allow me to lower my prices again. So the price of the lawsuit package will be a little bit lower. The online course is not going to be lower because a lot of work went into putting together the online course, and I'll show that to you guys later on. So I want to thank you guys all for supporting me on my YouTube channel and helping me get these numbers up. I just need 35 more people, 65, 75, 35 or 40 more people. And the watch time hours are going up tremendously with people watching my videos and stuff. So I want to thank you guys for that. One more case law I want to share with you guys. No, not that one. It's this one here. Assignable contracts. Now, this case law right here is something that if you're in foreclosure court, if you're in an judicial foreclosure or in court, even for the eviction process and the non-judicial foreclosure, this case law right here is priceless. You can use this case. You can use this case law to move to have your whole case dismissed. And I'll post it in the comment section below. I run across this stuff when I'm doing research for something, and then I usually save it. And then I run across it at just the right time. So you guys can see here, the assignment of contracts has to have consent from all parties, and it has to be done at the time of signing. It can't be done later on. These attorneys do a lot of stuff down the road, fake stuff. When I say fake stuff, I mean it's like attorneys having a license. They don't have no license. That whole thing is fake. Like a corporation can, like the bank can sign a power of attorney for an attorney to go after your house. That's fake, because a corporation doesn't have arms or legs and can't sign anything. All that's fake. And we cut through the fake stuff by adding an attorney to your lawsuit as the number one defendant. You cut right through the fake stuff, because the fake stuff is designed, is structured to help them throw you under the bus. So we ain't doing the fake stuff. So we're going to stop the screen share here and go back to the program. So welcome to Advocates with Justice Foreclosure Defense Paralegal Service. We are different and we prove it. So if you guys invest in my program, we will be working together as a group to get stuff done. I have the private foreclosure rescue Facebook page. I'm going to have an additional page for the online course. So the students in the online course will be able to communicate together in that page. And the goal here is to have the program structured so that you guys can help each other. Because eventually I'm going to get pretty busy and I won't be able to respond to everybody's questions in a timely manner. So there'll be people in the group that have been that went through the process and that'll be able to help you with the questions about the process and going through it. And so that's kind of what we're setting up, the groups to provide support, and that's how we're going to do it. And when we work together as a group, we're working together as a team, and that's how it's done. Now, I always want to talk about the number one mistake that homeowners make in foreclosure defense. That's one of the things that I always want to talk about every time I get to talk, every time I have people that want to listen. And I'm hoping that when I start this, you guys will be able to just kind of lip sing along with me, because I'll have said it enough and you remember. The number one mistake most homeowners make in foreclosure defense is they do not have the person that actually initiated the foreclosure against their property. They do not have that person listed on their lawsuit anyplace. And the number one person that we're talking about is the only person that signed the foreclosure documents against your house. And if you check, if you don't know whose signature is on that petition or claim, you need to check. And while you're checking, I'll tell you right now, it's the attorney. The attorney is the only signature on the documents that's used to initiate the foreclosure against your property for both judicial and non-judicial foreclosures. In a judicial foreclosure, the attorney is the only person that signed the notice, that signed the claim, the petition. And in non-judicial foreclosure, it's a notice of default letter. It's always signed by the attorney and not the trustee. And that's a fatal flaw right there, because they're lying to the court. And that's part of what they do. They try to convince the court that they're actually working on behalf of the lender. And now we're getting into the fake crap, okay? Because they ain't working for the lender. So that's fake shit. They're not working for the lender. They're working on behalf of their own law firm. They're working on behalf of themselves, is what they're doing. So did you guys know, and we're going to get to the property tax thing, but these things we need to cover. And then when we get to the property tax thing and get to the end of the property tax thing, you understand why we're covering this stuff. So did you know there's two United States? There's United States of America, which are all of the states combined together. And then there's the United States, the federal government, United States, Inc. And let me do the screen share again and pull this one up. So you can see here now how to get on the Do Not Detain list is a video by, I think the guy's name is Yusuf. Now, I'm not expert at this, but I completed the program and the passport program, and I have my my passport card to show that I'm a state citizen. So I've completed the process to reclaim my state citizenship, and I plan on using that if they want to come and mess with me for helping you guys, or the Untitled law. If they want to drag me in court, then I'll be using that to challenge the court's jurisdiction. And the reason that I will be using that to challenge the court's jurisdiction is because when you're a state citizen, the court does not have statutory jurisdiction over you without an injured party. And there's no injured party in the foreclosure, because the attorney's acting as a third-party debt collector. The lender's already charged it off. If you want to just get to the gate, the lender never made you a loan in the first place. And what they are saying was the loan was actually generated with your own signature. So there, I said it. Now you can see here, this is some information that you need to read, and I'll just let you guys read it because I don't feel like going all through this. I'm just going to let you guys read it. I'll leave it up here for a little while I talk about some things. And the 14th Amendment was a couple of states short from being ratified, so it does not lawfully exist. Now we're getting back into the fake shit. And this is what they've done. They've brainwashed us to believe a lot of crap that's not true. And the confusion started when your parents signed you up for your birth certificate and social security number and all that stuff when you were born. So that's how that all started. Now, the process that the Do Not Detain List video here talks about, you have to fill out the passport in a certain way. And if you, I'll put a link to the video in case you want to watch the video. I also, we're going to look at a couple other PDFs that are going to give you information about this process too. And this process, I can't remember exactly how much I paid. I think it was like, I don't know, I paid for expedient shipping. So it was like $160 maybe or something all together with everything, if I remember correct, but I'm not sure about that. But now with this coronavirus and everything going on, I don't think you'll be able to get it with expedient shipping. It might take a while. So what I've done is I've created my own United States of America Affidavit of State Citizenship. And this document, if you put it with your, copy of your birth certificate with it, then you should be able to use it Well, let's just go ahead and look at the diplomatic immunity first. Now, this is a written report pretty much of what's in the video, and this is more detailed, very much so, more detailed. So you guys can read through this, and I'll put a link to this in the comment section down below so you guys can see it. This is in very specific detail about what you need to do. Now, don't ask me questions about the state citizenship thing, because you need to watch the video, review this stuff, and then make your own call on it, because I'm not an expert on that stuff like I am with foreclosures, third-party debt collections, and kicking attorneys in the face, okay? So I'm an expert at that stuff, but this, not so much, although I did do the process myself. This goes through everything that you need to know about the process and how to fill out your passport and what to say and everything. And one of the things that if you do this process, I listened to the video, and he said a lot of times they'll kind of ask you where you're going or try to mess with you. The reality of the situation is that nobody from the post office has the right to ask you where you're going or ask you anything about it, or even deny you or say or whatever. But when I done mine, the lady struck up a conversation with me, and she's, so I got the passport card. The passport card can be used to go to Canada or Mexico. You can't fly with a passport card, but you can go to any port where you just walk across or whatever. So she was asking me, because I told her I needed it expediently delivered. So are you leaving? You going? I said, yeah. So where are you going to go visit? Oh, I'm going to Mexico. I tell you, yo quiero voy a Mexico porque yo tengo muchos amigos que viven allá, which means I'm going to Mexico because I have a lot of friends that live over there. And when I started talking Spanish to her, she was like, oh, okay. Let me get your paperwork done. And I'm like, gracias. Por favor, no dígale más, which means please don't say any more shit to me. Okay, let me stay focused. So you guys can go through this and review it. This is well worth your effort. And when you get pulled over by the police, if you have that card, you hand it to them, and they'll go back and run it, and they should come back and tell you to have a nice day. And it's happened to me twice. So let's close that up, and oops, this is on the wrong screen. Let's move it down here. Now, this is what my affidavit of state citizenship looks like. I have it on my website for like $75. I put it on there really cheap. So if you don't have time to go through that process and get your stuff back from the state to verify your state citizenship, then you can go to my website, and this document's like for $75. You can it'll download. So whenever you guys invest in any of my packages or my documents, they download to the email address that's connected to your payment method. And they'll download in a zip file. And you probably won't be able to open it with your phone. Some tablets maybe, and when you open the zip file, it'll look like it's just one file. And then you have to double click on that file again to open it up to see all of the documents that's in the package. So I put this together for people who don't have time to wait, or if you're about to get shoved off the cliff, you can use this. And I have people ask me all the time, I'm from another country, or I'm a naturalized citizen. And I think if you're a naturalized citizen, you can use this process too. You have to do your homework on that. What I do know is people from other countries, even if you don't have, you're not a naturalized citizen or have any paperwork or whatever, you can still use this. Now, remember, the idea here is to show them, the attorneys, that you're not a citizen of the federal government. So if you have your documentation to show that you're a citizen of whatever country you're born in or whatever, that's what I would attach to this document. and stick in their face, because you don't have to be of the United States. The goal of this is to show that you are not a citizen of the federal government. And you can do that by showing that you're a citizen of wherever the hell it was that you were born and your family came from. So the idea here when you roll with me is to not paint yourself in the corner with their limitations, because their limitations are for you and not them. Their rules are for you and not them. And we've already covered that in the beginning with the attorney licensing thing, whatever, okay? The attorneys don't have no license, but yet every day the court, the judge, and everybody's trying to hold you to the standard of a licensed attorney when they don't have no freaking license. So we gonna not let the fake stuff interfere with our ability to kick some butt, okay, and limit us into the corner like they'd like to try to do. So this is the front page of the Eliminate Property Tax lawsuit. And that's what we're going to talk about next. But I just want to show you guys this so you can see it. Because, I have people ask me all the time when the Eliminate Property Tax lawsuit comes, well, how many have you won? And how many know? Well, you know what? First of all, there is no law that mandates that you have to file your deed in their office. So it's not about winning. It's about you standing up for your rights and forcing them to do the right thing. Most people have no idea that you're in an administrative court and that the court is not connected to the Constitution. And no one can be a citizen of the federal government because nobody can be born in a fictitious entity. So now we're talking about the fake stuff again and how they use the fake stuff to throw you under the bus. The statutory courts does not have jurisdiction over a state citizen without an injured party. And that's the fact, Jack. And I have a judicial foreclosure that we have backed in the corner because of that. The attorneys could not answer. And then they tried to move on and ignore. So we put a motion to moot all the attorneys' documents that they filed in the case until they can prove jurisdiction on the record. And that motion is included in the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. And they have not been able to answer to it. So we're really having a lot of fun. And that's one of the things that I tell people all the time. When you invest in my program and you come in ready to do whatever it takes, I'm going to show you how to have some fun. Now, one of the things that I like to talk about too, before we get to the eliminate property tax too, is how many parties to add to your lawsuit. Now, if you invest in my package, then you should follow the instructions, okay? And that would be 3. We add the attorney as number 1 defendant, because the attorney is the only name on the foreclosure documents that was filed against your property. And we add the attorney's law firm as the 2nd defendant to block anybody in the law firm from stepping up. And now you're forcing them to hire outside counsel. You're forcing them to spend some money. And they have a hard time hiring outside counsel because once the outside attorney finds out that you're going after the attorney for wrongful foreclosure / breach of contract, and you're claiming they are unlawfully foreclosing, acting as a third-party debt collector, that's going to be the end of that. The attorneys do not want to get involved. And they don't want to get involved because, in my opinion, they know they're doing the same shit. That's it. They know they're doing the same thing. So now the attorney has to get the judge to allow them to proceed and in violation of the law, the court rules, in violation of the court rules. The court rules prohibit anybody from, prohibit a corporation from going into court pro se. And they're very firm on that. So, but they have to do that because you'll have them backed in the corner. And then once the judge allows them to go through, then you file your notice to strike all of the attorney's notice of appearance and all the documents that the attorney filed because of this. And you want to set yourself up to appeal for an appeal on this. You want to set yourself up for an appeal on a blatant violation of the court rules that is obvious that they are doing to allow their attorneys an unfair advantage. That's what you want to appeal on right out of the gate. So you can set yourself up for this right at the gate. I know, I love my job. So let's get to the heart of the matter. Let me, 2618. Let me do a times there, 2618. Oh, somebody sending me a message. Okay, we'll check with them later. They're trying to subscribe, but they made some kind of mistake. So today we're going to learn the truth about property taxes. Are you consenting to paying property taxes? Are property taxes legal? What triggers property tax collection? And how can you fight back? So I think the number one question for me when people are concerned about how many wins and how this works or whatever, the question that comes to mind to me is there's no law that forces homeowners to register the deed to their property in their attorney's office. There's no law that forces you to register the deed to your property in their office. So are you sure you're not consenting to property taxes? And yes, they are unlawful. And the Constitution mandates that property taxes that taxes on private property is unlawful in not one, but two different places. And the attorneys are actually conspiring to commit real estate deed fraud. And I'll explain to you how that works. And like I say all the time, I don't want you guys to take my word for it. I want you to do your own homework and see if I'm correct. So each state has a real estate deed laws, and the deed laws mandate that the deed is supposed to be delivered to the new property owner. But your deed didn't get delivered to you, did it? No. What the attorneys do is what they call the constructive delivery. And instead of delivering the deed to you, they take it down and record it in the county recorder's office or the recorder of records office or wherever they do. They don't give it to you. That we know. And once that deed is recorded, that triggers property tax, zone and code enforcement. Yes. But the most important thing is that once that deed is recorded, corporations are able to put liens against your property. Yep. Like the fake mortgage lien that they put against your property. Yeah. So when that deed is recorded, then the lenders can come in, the attorneys for the lenders will come in and they can put the mortgage lien against your property. Remember, I told you in the beginning that the alleged loan for the mortgage that they're charging you for was created with your own signature. And all the banks, all the attorneys did was act as an exchanger, and they turned your promissory note into a security, like a check. That's when they stamp pay to the order of on it and process it through the Federal Reserve. And you could have done that yourself. Yeah, it's bad what they do. So the real estate transfer laws mandate that the deed is supposed to be delivered, but it never is. So people don't know that there is a secret lien on all property bought with Federal Reserve notes. So I was doing some research one day, and this guy paid for his property with gold coins. And once he paid with gold coins, they had to remove him from the thing because he didn't pay with Federal Reserve notes. So, yeah. And if you're not an inhabitant, resident, or of Washington, D.C., and are not an officer, member, agent, or contractor for the United States of America, Inc., then you cannot, under any circumstances, be contracted or incorporated as such under force, intimidation, coercions, threat, or duress, or without your knowledge and free will consent, or without due process of law. You cannot be compelled to give up your property or none of your stuff without. And the thing is, property tax is unlawful. And how they get around that is they reclassify your property, because they're not allowed to tax private property. So once they register your property in their office, they reclassify it as residential, industrial, or residential, agriculture, or industrial, or commercial. And people don't realize that the residential actually means it's a property that a government official lives in. And private property can't be taxed. So they have this slick way of reclassifying your property, and then they start taxing you. And when you contact the tax assessor's office, they will either explain to you that he cannot tax property unless it's classified pursuant to the constitutional limitations, i.e. residential, industrial, or commercial. Yeah, that's the lie that they tell you. Back to the fake shit. We keep getting back to the fake shit. Oh, let me check and see how many people are here. I'm going to scroll down so you guys can see the rest of that. That's just the first page. So you can see it's real. Okay, we got a few people. Hey, Ken and James Golly. Hey, Tuan, good to see you, man. Do this include previous people who invested? So I'm not. So Tuan, what are you saying? Does what include? And thanks, Ken. Yeah, I'm doing great. Just sitting here doing what I do. So Tuan Burgess, you asked, does this include previous people who invested? Hey, Rosie. Hey, how's it going with you, Rosie? Did you get your documents filed? I haven't seen you on the page very much. Every once in a while, I see you liking a few things. James Golly, thank you, buddy. He says, we see it is real and you are real. Thank you, bud. And I am. I've been through what you guys are facing. So I know what you're going through. And yeah, they've been trying to make me go sit down, but I'm hard-headed. Can you go after the chance to go after them with this new package? So, Tuan, are you in judicial or non-judicial? And Peter Sylvester, how do we reclassify our property back to private? Well, that's what we're talking about, Peter. I'm gonna show you how to how you go about doing it now. So there's a couple of ways. Well, one way people do it is to get yourself off to judicial. So Tuan, send me an email and put in a jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. And then when I get done, and I'll check it and I'll send you over. I have a new jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit that people have been using in judicial foreclosures. And this document is 7-0. Well, excuse me, it's 6-1. And that one, the person didn't follow the instructions like they were supposed to. So, and we're hoping to get that straightened out right now. But so yeah, Tuan, there's some new stuff that we got going on right now. And this jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit would be perfect for you to help you get your foot back in the door. Seriously. And right now I have it on sale for $200 because I was using it. I wanted to see how people are going to respond to it because it's one of the main document packages that we use in my new online course. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But Tuan, since you already invested in the program, I'm just going to send it over to you so you can get your foot back in the door. Because if I remember correct, you already were kind of getting close to the edge when we first started working. So, and this will give you a chance to get your foot back in the door and get your case opened up again. Yeah, we've learned a lot since then. And Rosie, she says, I'm always watching your videos and I'm working on it, and I will have them filed on. Oh, nice. Nice. So, Rosie, I remember you're in non-judicial, or are you in judicial as well? So, Tuan, if you get in our group, you should look up Shamel Maxwell. She used the document. She's one of the main people that used the document to block the sale of her father's house. She used the document to vacate the default judgment. And once she got those things done, while the state court judge was trying to rule on the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit himself, she went ahead and moved it over to federal court. Well, not moved it. She filed her lawsuit in federal court. And then she attached all of that stuff that was going on in the lower court. And so what we've been doing is so the attorneys are not able to respond to the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. I mean, everything they're doing is fraud anyway. So they can't respond by affidavit, even if, so that's a problem. But the stuff that we put in the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit is blocking them from answering. So that'll give you a chance to get your foot back in the door. And then what we've been doing is using their inability to respond as evidence connected to your lawsuit. So when you go into federal court and you can show that you challenge the state court case, the jurisdiction in state court, and they weren't able to respond, then you can just ask the federal court to have a settlement hearing, because they don't need to go through all that rigmarole and all that process if they couldn't prove jurisdiction in the lower court. So that's how we do that. So Tuan, I also have launched my first online course, and it's titled Foreclosure Defense DIY, Do It Yourself. And I'm going to put a link in there and show you guys what my online course looks like. So here's a link to it that you guys can click on. So my online course is at Teachable, teachable.com. And I need to share the window again. So this is what my course looks like. So I have a paralegal school, and in the paralegal school, eventually I'm going to have a course on how to the ultimate guide to filing your wrongful foreclosure lawsuit for judicial wrongful foreclosure, and also for non-judicial wrongful foreclosure. I'm going to have a course for credit card debt collection defense. If the credit card company's suing you or garnishing your wages, we're going to have several courses. But this one, we're going to take a look at it. Let's head over to the judicial wrongful foreclosure lawsuit, DYI. It's half price right now at $1,200, and it has everything that you need. Everything that I have in my inventory is included in this course. So you can see here, and I'll just kind of scroll this down a little bit so you guys can check it out. And this is the course curriculum. And the course curriculum consists of videos and lectures and resources, tips and strategies, conventional foreclosure defense versus non-conventional foreclosure defense. That's really important because most people don't understand. They'll call me and they don't understand why I don't need to hear everything about their case that started in 2009. And the reason is because that's not what we talk about. If you roll with me, we're not going into court talking about what they said you did or didn't do. Okay, that's not what we talk about in court. What we're going to talk about in court is the fraud that put you in the position that you're in right now. That's what we're going to be talking about when we go to court. And then you see all the other things here, setting yourself up for your appeal in the beginning of your lawsuit. And we talked about that earlier, about jamming up the attorney and forcing. Basically, what I'm going to teach you how to do is use their own rules against them. You're going to use their own rules against them, and then you're going to have to make them violate those rules, and then we're going to jam them up for that. Now, the documents here, I have them listed, but you're not going to necessarily file them in this order. The first one or two documents, well, the first set of documents is going to be the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit that you'll be filing in state court to blow that case up before you file your case in federal court. And they'll also give you a little bit of time. It's like putting you out on a 50-yard line. Now you can throw some balls into the end zone. So that's what we're going to do with that. I just numbered these because I wanted them to be in order. So don't get wrapped up in trying to file them in the order that they're numbered, because that's not going to be the way it goes. And I'm also going to make a change here later tonight. I had it set up to where you had to go through each one before you can get to the next one, but I'm going to change that because a few people have suggested that it would be better if they were able to see more stuff without having to go through the steps. At the end of the day, the instructions are all there. And if you follow the instructions, whether you go through the steps, each one, whether you learn the stuff in succession or not, as long as you follow the instructions, you should be fine. Now, I added a second chapter to this course, and it's well, reclaiming your state citizenship. I added a cease and desist letter that you can use after you have reclaimed your state citizenship and you have verification, or you fill out the affidavit of state citizenship. If you get third-party debt collectors sending you crap, you can send the cease and desist letter along with a copy of your state citizenship verification. And the other thing that we're going to start doing is, before you file your stuff in court, I'm going to suggest that you get it on the public record. File it on the public. And I know it's an extra step, but it's a quality extra step. Because after doing the work that I did on the merit dissolution document, I found out that placing stuff in the public record bears more weight than the statutory BS. So the goal here is to get your documents, to place your documents in the public record and have it stamped that it's in the public record before you file it in court. Because once it's on the public record, it's in common law jurisdiction. And I think that will make a big difference in the attitude that the court has in their attempts to kick you out and violate you if you've already got your stuff on the public record in common law jurisdiction. So I think that's going to make a difference. And the other section that I added was this section here with the how to sue your attorney, your ex-attorney. So people have to remember that the attorneys are the one that structured the program that we have now. And it's not structured to help us. And the legal malpractice, to prove damages, you almost have to have a lot of people die. That's how they have it set up. So what we're doing is, we're not going in for damages. You're going in to prove, you're going in legal malpractice, breach of contract. And instead of going after damages, you're going after your attorney fees. Because if they breach the contract, you should get your attorney fees back. So that's what this is set up for. So I added that free because I want people, you can go after the attorney fees to get the funding back that you paid to join the course. That's the way that works. And here's just a little bit about me. Not a lot, because you don't need a lot. You guys didn't come here to learn about me. Y'all came here to save your property. And this online course would be perfect for people who have investors who have rental properties, because what they're doing to us now, a lot of people lost their jobs. And so it's going to be up to you guys to protect your properties yourself. And instead of, you can't go after the renters if they don't have a job and they can't pay. So now you're going to have to step up and learn how to protect your property yourself. And that's what this course is all about. It has everything in it that I have in my inventory that you would need. And these are some of the people that, so Joyce, she joined, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months ago. This is Sue and Jay Boyer. They're out of Texas. And they were among the first group of people that joined my program last October, I want to say, and they filed their wrongful foreclosure lawsuit and done all the paperwork, and they're still in their house today. And not only are they still in the house, the original attorney book just skated out the back door, and the judge retired. Now, I didn't know if the judge's retirement had anything to do with this or not, but she said the judge retired, and the new attorneys have not responded or answered, so they're moving for default. And all of these people are in the group. Shamel Maxwell, she's a fighter. She is a fighter. She's the 3-point shooter, and she used her documents to save her dad's property, and she's all over them. She ain't playing. And I have a lot of respect for her, because that girl is a fighter. She is not playing. And her dad, they blocked this. I think it was 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, maybe, or 2 months ago, that she actually stopped the sale of her dad's house. And these people are in their face, and I love it. So let's go back and see if you guys have any more questions. Okay. And I'm also going to put a link in here to the product page that the eliminated property tax package is on. So if anybody's interested in, so I have a radio show every Wednesday on HamiltonRadio.net. And this past Wednesday, we talked about the lawsuit package. And I dropped the price on the lawsuit package down to $350 from $500 to give the listeners a break and to let the radio station know how much I appreciate them allowing me to communicate with all of their 55 million listeners. So the lawsuit package now has been reduced from $550 to $350. I took $200 off, and I'm going to leave it that way until the middle of next week, probably Tuesday, near Tuesday. And that way I can give everybody, you guys will have a chance to take advantage of that package if you're interested in it as well. And I need to mention it in the Facebook group. I haven't mentioned it in the Facebook group. I just now thought about it. So if you are facing a property tax issue or you're tired of paying property tax, then I would suggest that you invest that $350 and get in their face. And I have a couple of people in the group that have used it. I got one really, really nice Google review. And if you use property tax, I would love it if you could leave me a review. And your review is pretty much stating that the documents that you got have value and you're pleased with them, and you can always follow up later. So what we're finding later is Sarah, she left me the review on the property tax package, and I called her a few months later, and she told me that she couldn't discuss it with me, but she loved me and my stuff was badass, and she hung up. And later on at the end of the day, it dawned on me, basically what she was saying was that they made some kind of a settlement with her. This is my opinion, and she couldn't discuss it with me. And we already know that attorneys, when they lose, they make you sign something saying that you're not going to tell anybody. You're going to keep your mouth shut because they don't want other people to know. And that's just one of the ways how they try to keep control of everything. So all the people who sit around waiting for somebody to win or whatever are going to be in the back of the line, because the people to win means the judge is going to give you everything. That's not what happens. Okay, what I'm going to help you learn how to do is make the attorney go sit the hell down. That's what I'm going to help you learn how to do. Ricky Zeller said, thanks for the phone call earlier. You're welcome, Ricky. So let's kind of wrap this up. We're kind of coming up on an hour here. And I want to give you one more. I want to give you the link to how to get on the Do Not Detain List video. That's real important. And here is that link. And I'm going to leave one more link. This is a link to my website that has all the documents on it. And I'm going to leave one more link so you guys can leave me a Google review. And you don't really have to have buy it. If you've been following me and watching what I do and my stuff, then you can review on that. Just let people know that other people are watching and how other people feel about my service. That would be perfect. Oh, no, I got one more link I want to leave in there for you guys. Now, this link here is a link to a payment service called QuadPay. And what they do is when you buy something to them, they'll go ahead and pay whoever it is you're buying the product from, and then they'll allow you to make 4 payments. And I used this a couple of times, and it works really cool. So if you're struggling to come up with the money for the lawsuit package, then maybe you could go this route, split it up into 4 payments of $110 or whatever it comes out to be. And then you could get your foot in the door now and start fighting. So we're trying to come up with different ways that can help people, so nobody's getting turned away. Kind of that's the idea here, and that's going to be the game plan when I qualify and get my site monetized. Nobody's going to be turned away that's ready to fight. So I'm going to I'm going to leave my email address also in case you guys want to email me or ask me any questions. And you know what? I would also like to show you guys one more thing. We're going to share one more thing here. Let me find it. This video we're doing tonight is going to be my 100th video. Cannot believe I have 100 videos. So this is the video for the property tax instruction video, the instructional video for the property tax lawsuit package. And I'm just going to move it up to where I'm talking about the documents. Maybe. Okay, here we go. So the first document in the eliminate property tax lawsuit video is the notice of claim letter. And the notice of claim letter is actually the lawsuit. It's just the information from the lawsuit put in this notice of claim letter. And my notice of claims, I like to have the claim so people can see what you're going to bring to the table and what you're about to do. Because just giving them a notice of claim on the paper for whatever don't work for me. My goal is to make them not want you in court. So you need to show them everything you're going to be bringing to the table. And that's what we're doing with the notice of claim letter. Now, you'll get the notice of claim letter both in this fancy letterhead, and it'll also be on, it'll be in a Word format. And the reason I put it in a Word format is so that you can take it and paste it in a letterhead on your computer. Because when you do these letterheads, it has certain fields, and if you don't know where the fields are, you can get it all jacked up. So I sent it to you so you can see what it looks like, all professional and nice. And then you'll have it in a Word, so you can copy and paste it in the fields and whatever from from your own computer. And we looked at this already. I don't show the whole thing because, you know, then I don't want, you guys need to make your investment if you want to see the rest of it. And this is the affidavit of Jane Doe, and your name would be in place of Jane Doe. And you also have the United States of America affidavit of state citizenship in the package. And this is your demand to strike the plaintiff's notice of appearance when the attorney signs on to represent the law firm that he works for or she works for. And you'll use that. Now, no one's had to use any of these so far that I'm aware of, but I have them in there just in case. And this is the civil cover sheet notes, the cheat sheet to help you fill out the civil cover sheet. And you can see these numbers here are reference to the numbers on the sheet, and this is the answer that you would put in it. Now, one of the things that you guys need to understand, when you file your lawsuit in federal courts will try to get out of taking it. They'll try hard to get out of hearing your lawsuit because they don't want all the state crap in their face. The number one reason why federal court has jurisdiction to hear your lawsuit is because state court does not have jurisdiction to hear the lawsuit that the attorneys filed, because the attorneys are considered a foreign agent. And as such, they must file in federal court. That would be like someone from another country, from England, suing you in state court. That's not the way it rolls. If you're suing somebody in another state, it's done in federal court. So these attorneys shouldn't have even filed the lawsuit in state court in the first place. And that's what you tell them in federal court. Hey, this got moved here because the plaintiffs are foreign agents, and they have to file in state court, in federal court. They can't file in state court. They do all the time because nobody holds their feet to the fire like we're going to be doing. So that's pretty much it on that. You guys can go to the website. Now, when you go to my YouTube channel, you got to remember that things are separated into playlists. So I have a playlist for instructional videos for the lawsuit packages. I have a playlist for tips and strategies for using it in court. I have a playlist for eliminating property taxes. And I think I have like 17 videos in that playlist. So that's the best way to figure out what you want to look at. And remember, the first part of the title in the video on YouTube is what I use so YouTube can rank my videos and show them. The second part of the title is more specific about what you're going to be learning when you watch the video. So let's go back and see if anybody has any questions. And we're going to end that. We're going to close that. Okay. So questions. Tim Burgess says 100. And Rosie says, great job. Thank you, Rosie. I gave myself a thumbs up at the beginning of this because I knew that I was going to do a good job. I knew I was going to be happy. Okay, guys, that's all I got for tonight. I'm going to try to be on here every Saturday night on YouTube, and I'm going to try to be on Monday too, Saturday and Monday, maybe Saturday and Wednesday. Well, no, Wednesday I do my radio show. Oh yeah, so the radio show is at Hamilton Radio. .net. And I'm going to give you the call-in number. I'd love to have some of you guys that's that's using my documents call into the radio show and tell people about my service, about working with me, about how things are going, so other people can see that there's people that are investing and they're happy with what's going on. So the call in 609, oops, 585 0400. That's the call in them to the radio show. So the radio show comes on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock Central Time. And we're usually on for an hour and a half or so. So if you call in, we'll let you talk. I'd like to hear what people have to say. I'd like to hear how things are going. And it'd be great to other people can see, what we're doing here. Because people have options now. You have options if you're willing to fight. Basically, if you're willing to do whatever it takes, you have options. And that's real important because you got to be willing to do whatever it takes. You can't go sit down as soon as the judge throws you out for something stupid and say, okay, I give up. No, it's not the way we roll. So I will see you guys in the next video. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and call us on the radio show and let me know what's going on. I'm looking forward to hearing from somebody. Who knows? Maybe if someone calls, I might have something. I might have a prize for the caller. Thank you, guys. I will see you guys later. Okay.